Just to say, here in North Brunswick, in the town hall, I might add, beautiful structure, just signed an incredibly important piece of legislation. New Jersey is not immune to the national organized retail theft, so-called smash and grab. And we've been inundated, again, all over America. We probably are less inundated, but that doesn't mean it isn't a big issue, because it is. The law I just signed today will increase dramatically penalties for that kind of behavior. When I say dramatically, financial penalties by tenfold, time served ceilings, maximums, multiple increases. Most of the law goes into effect literally today, April 1st, 2025. There is a gift card element that will go into effect in 6 months. The Attorney General is leading a task force, which will take a little bit of time to convene and come up with their report, but that will be intended to refine and add to the elements of the law that I signed today. So it's a big day. It's another step. You know, you saw this with home invasions, auto thefts, the reduction in gun incidents, murder by weapons, etc., doing opioid addiction, putting a lot of fact-based work into legislation and other actions. So far, with good results. We're not anywhere where we need or want to be, but the trends are all in the right direction, and for that I'm grateful. Thank you.
Your lieutenant governor signed a bill that extends the mandatory retirement age for police chiefs, just in time for the Edison police chief to not have to retire. Do you also support that bill? Why did your LG sign it? And did you look at the impacts on the pension system?
Yeah, I mean, do I support a bill? Any bill that the LG or I sign, I support. We wouldn't sign it otherwise. Beyond that, I've got no insight.
Any updates on improvements or fixes to I-80 and potential relief for business owners and stuff?
Well, yeah, there are some developments, not all positive. We knew we were still many weeks away from the eastbound lanes being safe enough to traverse. That continues to be the case. My guess is, as we stand here today, you're another good 5 weeks out. Last early week, I had said, subject to testing, we had hoped to get at least 2 of the westbound lanes into effect within the week or so. Those tests did not come back in a positive way. So that's going to be now multiple weeks. So they're working around the clock. They've got 2 crews, 1 on each side of the highway. You've also got a massive state police engagement. Safety is job number 1. This is all a web of abandoned mines and mine shafts that are underneath that part of Jersey in particular, and to some extent I-80. A couple of things we've done, other than visiting there and putting our bullhorn behind this in the communities. Number 1, NJ Transit's offering 50% off until these lanes are open from any of the folks who traverse via train from those communities. You need a minimum of 5 small businesses to come forward and make a official complaint, for them to allow me to go to the U.S. Small Business Administration with a formal request for help. That has happened. We convened a group last Friday. That letter is going out, I think literally today or tomorrow. Hopefully that will bring some relief to small businesses. I visited a diner in Wharton. These guys are getting crushed. So it's both a huge inconvenience if you're a commuter, and if you're a local business person, it's a huge burden. We're going as fast as we can. We'll continue to find creative ways. Our Economic Development Authority is also looking at potential programs they can put in place for some of the businesses that are impacted by this locally.
Do you think Lumberton Mayor Gina LaPlaca should resign after the arrest for drunk driving and child endangerment?
Yeah, and God bless her. She's been in my prayers since the moment I heard about this. I wish her a speedy journey to a better place for her and her family. I think based on what I've seen, I think it would be wise for her to put aside until she can get to that better place, her public duties, and most importantly, praying for her and her family.
Governor, tariffs are coming this week. follow that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not a tariff guy. I don't, particularly with your allies. I can understand why you do targeted tariffs as a retaliatory matter against folks who you view as either your enemies or your strategic competitors. Sam, thanks for coming. Love you, buddy. All right, man. But to your allies, I don't get it. They're just going to retaliate. And who's the loser? Our economy and our consumers. And we're no exception. We are one of 36 states, just to pick one example, with Canada as our #1 trading partner. I don't know why you take Canada on. Canada is as close an ally as we have in the world, the Western Europe allies. Why are we doing this? We had a really good economy, markets were strong, and everything feels like it's beginning to unravel. I hope that cooler heads prevail, that the volatility, the uncertainty all gets to a lower, calmer level. I'm an optimist. I hope that will happen. We'll see.
Governor, 2 questions. First, your thoughts on what Cory Booker has been doing overnight on Capitol Hill. And the second question, congestion pricing. Obviously, some days left still to go with the extension. And any rumblings on what you've heard, what could come about?
On Cory, God love him. I think what he's doing, this is no kind of to your question about tariffs. These are not normal times. Therefore, the response doesn't necessarily work if it's normal. You got to do some unusual things. I give him an enormous amount of credit. Tyler, where are you? Tyler confirmed as I walked into this scrum that he's still on the floor, still going at it. So as a personal ability matter, strength matter, it's just incredibly impressive. But I like what he's saying and I like what he's doing. We need to shake ourselves up here. These are not normal times. The response can't be normal. Or put differently, you can't answer something with nothing. This is something, and I love that, and I love him. Nothing really new on congestion. We've still got our legal case in one lane. You know where the Trump administration has been. New York and the MTA have their own challenge in a different lane. I continue to be where I've been. We've got the strongest pro-environmental record of any state in America over the past 86 months. I'm proud of that. I stand by it, but I also acknowledge the fact that we clearly are not against mitigating pollution. We're not against dealing with climate change. We've been reasonable from day one, and we continue to be. As long as our commuters aren't screwed, as long as the pollution isn't displaced into New Jersey, and if it is, that we don't have the weapons financially in particular to combat that, if there's a reasonable common ground, we've been open to that from day one. But nothing new other than that.
David reported that...
Hold on 1 second. Anybody else? All right, Charlie, and then you guys each get your second.
So yeah, speaking of climate change, we're in a building that was out of commission for many years, flooded during Hurricane Ida, only recently reopened. Probably more events like that to come. Would you be open to signing the New Jersey Climate Superfund Act, if that gets to your desk, to create a pool of funds for towns to be able to address climate?
I mean, no specific comment on a bill that hasn't come close to us yet, but the notion to fight climate change and to use all the weapons available, I'm all in for as a conceptual matter, without specific to the bill.
David reported that hundreds of judges...
David who?
Wildstein.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Hundreds of judges and court workers were expected to go to a party for a retiring judge in Trenton, despite a backlog in cases, and they didn't expect to even give cash gift in some cases. Do you have thoughts on that?
This is Judge Grant?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no thoughts on the specifics other than to say I think he's had an outstanding public service career. I wish him nothing but the best. He's the one guy who shows up at all of my budget speeches along with the Chief Justice. I always appreciate that, but no insight beyond that other than wishing him well. I'm going to sneak out. Is that all right?
What's the longest you think you could give a speech for?
Me?
Yeah.
It would be completely and totally and utterly related to how long I could go without going to the toilet.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks so much.